For today's lesson, we are going to compare fractions and decimals. Remember, something really important about this is that you need to be able to compare the fractions. They must have the same denominator. Okay, they should be like fractions. Okay, and if you have a fraction and you need to compare it to a decimal, there's one simple way to do it. We're going to be using 3/10 as our example, and we are going to compare it to 0.45 hundredths. Okay, so the first step that we need to make is that we need to convert this decimal into a fraction. Okay, so be able to do this, we need to notice that this have a certain place value. So this one should be on the ones place, and this one is going to be the decimals, this one is going to be the tenths, and this one is going to be the hundredths. I'm not writing it just perfect because we're not going to be getting in depth with that, but have in mind that, okay, so to make this decimal, we are going to be taking the place value of the 45. The 5, it's on the hundredths place. That means my denominator is going to be 100. Okay, so I will rewrite it right here. My denominator is going to be 100, and my numerator it's going to be 45. Okay, so I'm using the 45 as my numerator, 45 hundredths. Okay, if you go ahead and read these, this decimal right here, it reads 0.45 hundredths. So 45 hundredths is my fraction. Once we have the fraction, we need to be aware of these, that we need to have the same denominators to be able to compare the fractions. So in this case, we have the 3/10, the previous one, the one that we have right here. We need to compare it to this one, but I'm noticing right now that we do not have the same denominator, so we need to make those denominators the same. In this case, we cannot make this one to be denominator 10 because the 45 does not have a 0 to take out from. Okay, so we need to use the 3/10. We need to make it to have a denominator of 100. We can do that really easy by multiplying 3/10 times 10/10, or just by simply adding a 0 on both numerator and denominator. That will do the trick. Okay, so if you go ahead and multiply, that's going to be 30 and then hundreds. Okay, that way you can now compare. Okay, now you can compare the 30, and I'm going to rewrite it right here in green, the 30 hundredths. You are now able to compare it to the 45 hundredths right here, and you can see that at 30 hundredths it's less than 45 hundredths. Okay, make sure this one is less than, and this one is greater than, and this one is equal to. Okay, make sure to use the right symbols when you are working with this.